Everybody good? Hang on. Yeah, so, all right, here's what we want to do. When you figure out what image you want, okay, you probably want to bring it to your desktop first. Okay, so I'm just literally going to drag and drop this onto my desktop. Then, if the program will let you drag it in, then bring it in. But, does anybody have any issues with that? The thing that you have to do is you have to have a file set up already. Do not ever go file, open, and then open like a JPEG image with Illustrator, because what's going to happen is it's going to turn off a bunch of stuff in the program, and you won't be able to use it, or it'll give you problems. Right now, so like artists, you have a horizontal shoe, but you have a vertical piece. So later on, what I want you to do, let me see if we can just do it straight up in here. File. If you go to document setup, you might be able to change the width and height. I don't remember actually off the top of my head how to do this. Does anybody know how to change the dimensions?
I think it's an edit.
Is it? I don't see it. Well, RSA, worst case scenario, man, just go file new and open up, because I actually have to do the same thing because mine's different. So let's go 11 for width in that one, 8.5, and then literally, okay, you guys see how my tabs, there's 2 tabs here? All right, if I grab the ellipse, I can bring it up and hover into the other tab and just drop it in. So Ars, that would be like something you'd want to do. All right, then once you guys get your object into Illustrator, I want you to then resize it by holding down Shift when you shrink it down, okay? What that does is it keeps it from getting disproportionate. Does not have to be the full scale, so don't worry about that. Hold down Shift so you do not make it like this, disproportionate. Okay, Zach, that's not going to work because that's already an illustration. You need to find an object, something realistic. Could be a baseball bat, could be a microphone, could be a guitar. So, I'll be honest with you, you could do one. Sometimes they're hard because they're very flat looking. So if you're gonna find a soccer ball, find one that maybe has some like other elements to it. Yeah, but it could work. Fine, look one up. All right, so everybody take a quick look up here how I'm gonna kind of set up my document. All right. First thing I'm gonna do is my layers. Okay, I'm going to make a new layer. All right, right here. And that bottom layer is the actual ellipse. You guys see that? Those are 2 master layers. So the bottom one with the ellipse or with your object, I want you to have it separated from your top layer and lock it. So lock the original image of that. Yeah, that would probably work, Zach. Then you can click on the B96 things to delete that. All right, and the reason I'm locking it is because I don't want to draw on it at all. I don't want to mix up what I'm doing. All right, everybody, take a quick look up here. I'm just going to give you a quick rundown on how I might start doing a drawing, okay? Say I want to do the drawing of this whole face, right? But I'm going to start with the lips. What I'm going to first do is look at, let's say, the bottom lip. And I'm going to decide, all right, what is the most dominant color there? And to me, I think it's probably like a light pink. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go get this color eyedropper tool. And I'm going to go out there and I'm going to start clicking to see if I can find something that's that light pink. You see how down here it's choosing it? I have no stroke. I have like a pink. And I actually think that pink that I just selected is pretty good. If I click on white, though, then it's going to make it white. Okay, so I have my color selected using my color eyedropper. Now, you have 2 different ways you can do this drawing. Okay, one would be to literally watch the banana demo. And what I would do is, everybody take a look at my screen. I'll just do one shape for you. Okay, or 2 shapes maybe. Is I would then go in and I would use that pen tool and I would trace this. Okay? And I'm trying to get like intricate shapes, okay, any weird curves. You really want to capture what you're seeing. And I'm not doing like the best job ever here, but again, I'm good at this. Like I've done this for 13 years, so I'm gonna move a lot faster. Right? You guys, it's gonna take you a little bit probably longer to get a shape done than what I just did. It's fine, don't worry about it. All right. So there is what I'm calling my bottom layer of that of the lip. Now what I'm going to do, okay, I'm going to go over to my layers and open up the layers, okay, for that layer 2. I'm just going to turn off that path, the visibility for that first shape, because now I want to do another shape. Okay, now I want to do, let's say, like this bottom color. See how there's like a slightly darker color at the bottom? So I'm going to select that, and then I'm going to go with the pen tool. Okay. Go with the pen tool there. Now one actually turned a little bit too dark, so I'll probably have to change that. All right, and then what I do is I'm slowly building this up. Okay, you see how that works? Okay, now when that shape is off, I could go in and I could add some points on there. So I'm gonna add a point here. I'm gonna get my white arrow, and I'm actually using my arrows on my keyboard to move that shape down. Okay, so you would want to do this to kind of break down whatever image you're doing. Okay, now that tool is the pen tool. You guys know how to use that. We've talked about that before, right? Now we're going to talk about another tool. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn off these two eyes. All right, you guys, whether you have them or not, it's fine. But I do want you to go get this tool with me. So I'm going to go select my color, and I'm going to start doing the highlights here. See all that white? So I'm going to get that white color selected. And then let me find this tool. Okay, right here. Everybody look up at your tools. Find where the pencil is, and you're going to take that tool directly underneath it. It's called the Blob Brush. All right, cool name, right? Blob Brush. We're going to click on the Blob Brush, and right now my Blob Brush is set to have that white fill with no stroke. What the Blob Brush does, you see how big it is? I can use those brackets to the right of the letter P to make it bigger or to shrink it down. And what the Blob Brush does is I make a shape. Okay, so I'm going to start drawing all this white. I make a shape, and it draws, it's just like a paintbrush, right? But watch what's going to happen, okay? I can shrink it up. I can make it smaller, all right? I'm going to get my white arrow, all right? Look at these shapes, guys. Watch what happens when I click on them. What happened? Can you guys tell? Yeah, but what's unique about that paint line right there? It has what? It has outlines, right? Yeah, it has outlines. So, say if I make a shape, I can actually go in and I can edit it, all right? It's just like anything you've done with the pen tool, right? It's actually like a kind of like an easier version of the pen tool. Okay, so if I wanted to go in and actually I want to do the upper lip like this, okay, I find the most general color for the upper lip. Oops. Sorry, I had something selected. Okay, find the most general color for the upper lip. I go get my Blob Brush tool. Watch me work, guys. Okay, I'm bumping up the brush size, and watch it go. Okay, now it's not as like perfect as the pen tool is, but that you don't need it to necessarily be. Okay, so watch what happens now. See how I didn't fill in the middle? I let it go. Watch what happens. I click on it. Okay, what's unique about that shape? Got the outline in the middle too, right? Well, the nice thing about this tool is now all I need to do to fix that is go get my Blob Brush again, paint it in, and now that is one outline shape. Okay? And if there's issues like, okay, over here I feel like I need to adjust that, I can go get my white arrow, and I can click a point, I can drag it out, I can manipulate the shape just like the pen tool stuff that I did. So the reason I didn't show you guys this at the beginning is because, yeah, it's easier than the pen tool, you know? It's way easier. Like, you just literally just trace shapes, and you're just painting it. Okay, I did that with usually I use probably a Wacom pen to do that. I did that with the mouse, and it was pretty nice, okay? So now my next step for that top lip, then, would be just what I did with the other tool. Turn off the eyeball. All right, go get a new shape, or I'm sorry, a new color that's maybe darker. Go get my Blob Brush, and then I'm going to shrink it down a little bit. Why did it not select the right color? What the heck is it doing? Apparently it does not want to select the color right now. There we go. Okay, get my Blob Brush. Alright, I paint that next color in the areas where I feel like that needs to go. And you can do details too. So if you like get to a point where you see like lines and stuff, go in, I can draw those in. And again, I'm doing this all with my mouse, so it's like not super accurate, but still looks pretty cool already, I think. So basically anything that's touching will make into one shape. Okay, let's take a look at it. Look at that. And then you can turn off the eye for your other one. Okay, so you can kind of see the development of that, right? You guys, this is what we call a graphic, okay? It has graphic quality, meaning it looks flat, okay? The more details you put into it, the more realistic it's going to look, but it's never going to look 100% realistic if you're not doing gradients, okay? Unless it's just a shape that looks very graphic anyway, and you can pull it off. So we are making an illustration. An illustration is not necessarily going to look photographic. That's okay, right? Like I was showing you Jason Burke's work from Ink and Lead Designs. Go look at his stuff. It's realistic looking in some sense, but it's graphic, okay? It looks flat like this. Okay? So here's what I want you guys to do. I want you to finish your monograms first. Then I want you to pick a object to draw, to make an illustration of, okay? So now we are working a little bit more towards that realisticness, okay, or the realism, but it doesn't have to be so hyper realistic that it's like, ridiculous, it's crazy.